Welcome to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast, where we go behind the scenes and uncover the tactics and strategies top entrepreneurs are using to make more sales, dominate their markets, and how you can get those same results. Here's your host, Dave Woodward.
Welcome back to Funnel Hacker Radio. I'm your host, Dave Woodward. You guys are in for a roller coaster ride of excitement and enthusiasm today because I have the opportunity to have Evan Michael with me. Evan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much, Dave. Appreciate it. Always happy to do stuff like this, and what an honor to be here with you today. Thank you.
This is honestly, I've gotten chills just as we've been kind of doing some little pre-talk here beforehand. It's we're going to be all over the board, so I hope you guys are taking notes. If you're driving, I don't know what you're going to do, but this is going to be a lot of fun. Primarily because Evan's been a guy who's been around for a long time. 2004 is kind of when he got started on this whole thing. But the part I love is, and where I really got introduced to Evan was he made a Facebook post in our group recently about this whole idea as far as being one funnel away. And I just love basically seeing, it was really a cool post. In fact, I'll try to get the post and put in the show notes because you have these little circles as far as kind of the size of your business growing over the years. If you don't mind, just take a few minutes, kind of talk a little bit about that transition as far as from 2004 to now, what's happened?
Yeah, sure. Tell you all about it. Thanks again so much. So, all right, let me just start from the very beginning, which is an interesting little side note here, which is, you hear so many people talk about, they want to start a business, they want to go full time, they want to do it. I was like never that guy. I worked 2 jobs all the time. Like I just could never risk like everything. Some people say like, well, if you're not 100% committed and you don't do it right away, you're not committed. No one's gonna take you seriously. But that wasn't me. I said, forget it. I can run 2 jobs. Like how hard is it? I've got 24 hours in the day. I didn't sleep very much, but it was fine. So I started in 2004 and I started the software company for creative professionals, designers, photographers, etc. I did it online, did it part-time. So up until about 2010, that's really what I did. And it just grew and grew and grew, which is great. So what got me to the post and what you're talking about is in 2010, I came up with this idea for one of the products for this software company. And it was really an education-based software and actually an education-based program online. And that was going to be a subscription product. But going back just for a second, when I started in 2004, again, I didn't take this thing full time until 2010. So again, I if anybody's listening out there, maybe they're just new to this, and I know you've got a valuable audience here that knows a lot about this stuff, but I'm just gonna be the guy to say, hey, look, if you're not ready to take this thing full time, just work 24 hours a day. You will grow it. Take the time. I think one of the best things about all this and what really drew us together today was the diagram I put out, which went from this product that we took in 2010 from 8,000 to 28,000, 40,000, et cetera, and then all of a sudden it grew up into hundreds of thousands of dollars. The thing I put at the bottom of the diagram was you're just one funnel away, even if it takes 7 years. So the key to this really is like a lot of people want to do this overnight. They want to become millionaires overnight. They watch all this stuff on the internet. I think that's all great. If you can do it overnight, believe me, more power to you. I would love it. But I think it doesn't hurt to say something like, look, if I told you today that you could start building a funnel and working on it, tweaking it, iterating it, working on it every day, trying to do what you can. I don't care if you're working at Starbucks on the side. I don't care if you're working, another job full time, if you're a teacher, if you're somebody else. But then I tell you today, just build that funnel. Start today. And in 7 years from now, you'll be making $1 million on that funnel. Now, it may take you 6 years to even get to 100,000, but wouldn't you do it? I mean, I think that's really the whole point of the post. And it was like, you don't have to do it overnight. My point is put the work out there. One thing we always hear about is implementing. And one thing, we were talking about, we're all over the board today, but one thing I always talk about with marketing is a lot of people get stuck in like that researching phase of marketing. They're always learning, research, not doing. We take so much time to do stuff. It's like, if you can implement and get out there and start building that funnel, like the more and more you do, even when those funnels aren't working as well as you want, it's like, just keep working at it every day, wake up in the morning. If you're excited about it, it's like, I don't care. Well, today started out kind of slow. And then I looked at my funnel again and it built up. But like in the morning today, I was like, this funnel is like not working as I wanted it to. And then it took off, but it was like in my head, I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I want to go forward. I want to make this better. Like that's the whole point. So anyway, my point is implement. Don't sit back, do it. Because what do you care if you're a millionaire today or a millionaire in 3 years or a millionaire in 10 years, right? Like it's fine. And like, you can always make money. Go, like I always said to my wife, it's like, I don't care what I do. I can always go get a job at Starbucks and work online at the same time. Now, luckily, knock on wood, I haven't had to do that, but I'm not embarrassed by it. It's like, I just want to do the best I can. Like there's no rules here. You know what I mean? So you want me to talk about
I love
you want me to talk about the product?
No, I'm not yet. I just want to seriously. One of the things I get people. Oh my gosh, people are always giving me tons of crap about, and that's the fact. Man, you got so much energy. You're always bouncing around. I can tell you there is something that is contagious about energy, and I love your energy because it was one of the things you and I were talking about before. As far as that's one of the things that drew you to Russell. because it's, man, he's talked so much. He's got all this energy. He's going, go, 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 go. I think people have to understand there is so much to having that type of an energy, and it is what allows you literally to go. If it takes you 7 years, it takes you 7 years. If it takes you 3 years, It takes you 3 years. It doesn't matter because you have that type of energy that drives you and motivates you and keeps pushing you forward. So I just, again, for those of you guys who are listening, realize how exciting this business is. It is such an awesome, awesome experience. I've actually, before we got on the call here, I'm playing with Legos right now. I honestly, I wish I could show you. We got these huge Legos because we're in the process of putting together a cookbook. We're going to be doing this tonight, and Russell's going to be doing this kind of stuff. But the reason I mentioned that is there is so much fun in business. It's one of the things I just love, and I love your passion, your excitement, especially considering you're in a really small niche. And I do want to kind of talk about it because one of the things you and I were just discussing is you actually are using a webinar type of funnel, and you're using this webinar funnel, and the webinar funnel actually is what you're using to help build a continuity-based type of income, which most people, when they're looking at a webinar funnel, it's, you know what, this is a high ticket price item, minimum of $497. Typically it's a $997 to $29.97. I'm looking for the kill. I'm trying to make a lot of money on this thing. And I really want to kind of talk about what you're doing on a much smaller scale, but we say smaller scale, yet at the same time, it's $1 million a year business. So
right.
I talk about what you're using how are you using a webinar funnel to create this?
Yeah, definitely going to answer that. Of course, I'm going to jump around, but I just want to say one thing about it, which is, again, this is only one of our products. So I just want to be really clear to everybody, which is it's always about everything, not one thing. So I think you should all have a funnel like this. But let me be really clear about funnels, which I really love about it. And again, until I started hearing Russell talk about funnels, I didn't really understand what it was. But I think when you understand about funnels, there doesn't have to be one funnel. Your business alone. See, Russell talk about having, multiple funnels for multiple businesses. I'm sure he talks about a lot of things, but that's just one thing. Yes, you can have that. And I have funnels for other things, my own personal brand. I got things for my Facebook group, just a hobby thing. Those are all funnels too. But in your company, you can have multiple funnels. So you have, funnels going this way, funnels going that way, et cetera. And so what I really want to say about funnels real quick is don't let them limit you. All a funnel is just how you want to direct those particular users, so it's just funneling people, like moving them through the path you want to take them. So the reason I mention that is because I don't just have I don't just have one funnel working at this time. So if you are doing Facebook advertising, which I do, spend thousands a day on Facebook, marketing the company. If you don't have an email list to back that up, if you don't have a Facebook page to back that up, if you don't have webinars to back that up, if you don't have good products to back that up, you have to have everything. So one thing I really do work on all day is everything. I don't get stuck in one thing. I see major companies doing this that lose sight of everything because all they do is branding. They don't do everything else. So anyway, my point is have everything. So yes, with this one product I get to with this webinar funnel, which is really amazing. And I think what's the key to this is that, of course, I built a funnel in the beginning in 2010. But I didn't figure this funnel out for 6-7 years. And so that's a huge factor here. It's like that funnel took me a really long time to perfect. Now, it didn't mean we weren't making money, but let me tell you what we did. So long story short is that the funnel is an education type subscription product online. You learn, you watch webinars. So I'm using a webinar to sell a webinar product. Okay, so does that make sense? It's kind of like, it's sort of the same thing. It doesn't mean you can't sell products, but again, like you said, one of the biggest keys here is it's not a high ticket item. This product is $97 a year. That's all it is, $97 a year, and these people get access to this education that updates throughout the year, et cetera. We have feature presenters and different things like that, so it's really cool, and we pay them and stuff with the profits, whatever. My point is, but it's obviously much more profitable once you get more subscribers. So my point is that this is a small ticket item. So what I did is I put it out there originally in the beginning of 2010, sent it out to all my email subscribers. Hey, we're building this new education site. Do you want to be part of it? Great. I think really by 2011, we were probably doing like 28. It never really got over like $48,000 a year. So, but the price point was $36 when I first started because I didn't have any content. That was the key. So I'm building an education, it's like I'm building this education course and it's like, but there's not much there. It's more of like an education, like a TED Talks of our own kind of like, helping creative professionals, things like that. So anyway, really we had like, we were doing like 25,000 for that and it just wasn't taking off. I was trying everything. I was sending out emails and then people would drop out of the subscription for $36 a year. $36 a year, they wouldn't renew it. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So this is just the point of this is like it was a constant work. It was a constant effort, tweaking, figuring it out, working, and coming up with new ideas. It wasn't just the product. I mean, the product had to improve as well. It wasn't just the marketing. The product improved, the marketing improved, the ideas improved, the price point improved. It's like I hear people say like, oh, I'm trying, like I read something online today and somebody said they are trying to justify in their head asking people to spend $997 or $1,000 for their course. I'm thinking to myself, don't justify it in your head, justify it with the product. If your product isn't worth $997, don't ask people to buy, but you should then give them a product worth $997. Or really undersell it. But if you want to make the money, I think with this particular funnel, it's $97 a year. It's purposely low cost, but that's because it's a recurring product. So if I can make really clear, this product is a recurring fee product. So every year it's only $97 a year. These people get renewed. But here's the key to it. So by the time this year rolled around, it was earlier this year. I think we probably were making 24, 35, depending on how much it was. But it really started to take off. This year, it's that funnel came together. So what it was basically it's Facebook ads along with, mixed with email and retargeting there. But it's the Facebook ad leads into one of the best training and webinars that we did. So we just give that away for free. So what's key there is that yes, it just doesn't waste people's time. It's here's the ad. If you watch us, you're going to love us. You're going to trust us. And it goes into an amazing webinar that is free, probably one of the best sessions we do. And then that gets them to sign up for $97 for the year. And then that has exploded. And then so the product got better, the ad got better, and the pitch got better. I mean, it really did. All those things came together. So when this took off, so now you got to think it's now we'll start getting 10, 15 signups a day. Well, we're at $97, okay? So let's say, it's $97, 10 signups a day, 3650 people a year. You multiply that by times 3 years, now you've got $1 million product, right? So we're on our way to that. That's how it's growing. So my point of that is okay, so your great point was in the beginning was, okay, this is a small ticket item. Here's the thing. There are days where I'll spend $10,000 on Facebook and I get $10,000 back, right? So what is that? It's what am I doing? Right. So it's 100 clients, right? Or 100 subscribers. So I make $0, right? So sometimes it's funny. I'll go talk to my wife and say, oh yeah, I spent $30,000 over the weekend. Oh yeah, how much did you make? I'm oh, nothing. We didn't make any money. There's no money in that. But here's the thing. I know with a subscription product, next year I'm going to make 10 grand. Now let's say there's a 75% retention rate, but that's part of the funnel too. But let me just say, let's just say there's a 75% retention rate. I know next year, if I spent $10,000 this weekend to make those customers and I make all my money back, I made no money. So that's why you have to have everything, right? So it's one product in place. Now your other products are making you money while this one makes you nothing this year. But next year I'll be on a weekend vacation in Colorado and I'll make $7,500 for the company just doing nothing, right? I mean, that's the key to the subscription business. So if I could go all the way back, I wanted to be in the subscription business. All our other products were single one-off products. I had to keep creating new products. I wanted to have a subscription product, and that's what we're doing. So that's where this funnel is going. That's what led me to this. That's what led me to that post, because it was guys, you don't have to do this overnight. Take your time, build it. Don't give up. Do everything over the sun, under the sun, et cetera. What's the expression? But once one of these funnels, you're one funnel away. Once one of those funnels takes off, it's boom, it can change your whole company. And like you said, this might just be our main product moving forward after a year or two. In other words, this might be $1, $2, $3 million product. We're just you know what? That's what we're doing, and that'd be fine,
But Evan,
anyway,
the part I love is the fact that it is everything. And that's the thing I think people they misunderstand. Take, for example, we've got, gosh, you just went through exactly how we built ClickFunnels. We built it basically through a webinar platform. And yes, we gave a lot away free and all that kind of stuff. But the crazy part for us is I take a look at all the different front ends that come into ClickFunnels. And, I meet with these growth equity guys, these private equity guys who are always fascinated as far as, a SaaS company like ours. It's not uncommon that a person would spend anywhere from $120 to about $140, $145 just to get a free trial. That's why they have to go out and they have to raise all this crazy,
right,
the dollars just so they can do what you're doing, where you're basically just trying to break even on your ad spend.
Right.
And
right.
For us, we were talking about, the fact you love Russell's books, Expert Secrets, .com Secrets, all that kind of stuff. All of those are front ends. And we sit down and we talk to these guys and they don't understand we're actually acquiring a customer for free. So our cost to acquire customers, we actually make some money on it because we typically make on our front ends. It's not uncommon where, we could spend up to about $30 to $35 to acquire a customer for a book product or something like that. But the part that I love is the fact that this is kind of your back end to a lot of your other products. And at least for us, that we found, and I'd love to get your opinion on it, Evan, is that what we found is a person, once they become a customer, they buy anything. It is so much to sell them something else.
Yeah, if I go further, the best part about this is the funnel doesn't, as I mentioned before, the funnel doesn't stop. So now here's what's really cool. Now I spent 10,000 to make 10,000, okay? But now I've got the customer, like you said, and guess what? They love me because they love the products we're selling. So don't forget, the product has to be amazing. Sometimes people say, what converts the best, a red button or a blue button? I'm like, the best product converts the best. Like you have to have that's what converts. Like it's like if I look at my, like I always like take notes on my stuff. It's like, here's what converts the best. Here, I have a list here. Let's see if I can find. Here's what converts the best. It's not colors, not websites. It's the best products, the best offers, and the best experience. End of story. It's like nothing else really matters. So anyway, if I go back to it, yes. So here's the coolest thing. So now I have these people in the funnel. Yes, I do sell them other products. I'll be honest though, I kind of like don't go crazy with them. Like I kind of let them enjoy the experience of the subscription and like just keep feeding them tons of value in the education part. So it's like, but here's the thing. I'll send them emails all the time and I'll say like, hey, here's a new webinar. Here's a new education piece. And the email says, this is why you're a premium subscriber. This is the benefit. This is, I'm kind of always reminding them so they don't lose sight that in a year, it's like, oh, wait, I got all that benefit out of it. So I don't sell them too hard. But here's what we did do. And this is really exciting. And this is really cool, which is when we bring out a new product, let's say I had like this new product, it was $75. So we did a big, promotion on that product, design product. And then we offered it to anybody who is a premium, subscriber to the education part. We offered it to them for $24. Now, this is a digital product, so we make $24. It's fine. If we sell 100, et cetera, you can make $2,400, et cetera, in a weekend or whatever. But my point of that is like that not only gave them a huge discount on the product, right? It's $24 instead of $74. It made them happy. So they're going to want to recur and come back and keep buying. And in fact, it's almost like they're getting these products for free. And if I can say one last thing about it, which is I'm probably not charging enough for the subscription, but I just don't care. I just don't get hung up on those things. Now, being a small company that doesn't take funding, it's really easy to not care about every dollar. I think if you're in like this big company, there's a lot of red tape and there's people over your head. Yeah, of course you have to account for all these things. I see a lot of people doing Facebook and they're worried about every little penny. And for me, it's like, I don't. I just see the bigger picture. It's like if I make $100 today, $200 a day, $10,000 a day, or $11,000 a day, it just doesn't change much. I just go for it all the time. It's like as long as things are moving, the wheels are spinning, people are coming in, people are buying. It's like I don't get greedy. And I just want it to all be out there. So like if I give away, $75 product, maybe I could have sold them for 50, but like, I don't know. I just like, it's not important to me. And maybe that's a little bit of an easy place to be because I do, we have had success, but I never worried about that, to be honest with you. I just never worried about like the money of it. I mean, yes, you want to be profitable, but like I never nickel and dime this whole thing. And I have like my own, like, anyway, I don't want to get too off topic here, but I have my own theory about like the value of a dollar. And it's like, at what point in your life does each dollar, each penny not make a difference? Like if you are still collecting pennies and change, like, I don't know what you're doing with your life. It's like you will never go broke over not collecting the change back from somebody or not throwing it at a charity bin or counting your change. Like, oh no, but I made like $20. Like, I don't even know like how $20 would change your life. Like if you're at that point, like you need to get a job like at Starbucks and then just come back. But like there's a point in your life where you can eventually like $10 doesn't matter, $11 doesn't matter, like $100 doesn't matter, $1,000, like does $10,000 really matter? Is that going to change your life? Sure. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying like, but $1,000 maybe like, my $1,000 maybe like somebody else's 100 or my 1,000 maybe like somebody else's 10,000. So my point is like, don't nickel and dime this stuff. It's like, think big. It's like, don't be penny wise and dollar foolish. That's something my father used to always say to me, and I just live by that. It's like, I just, I don't count my pennies. I look for the bigger picture. And I think that really helps like with the whole process of advertising and building a company. If you're so stuck on every little penny, like forget it, you're not going to grow, that's my opinion.
No, honestly, I totally agree. It's, that's been one of the funnest things is I've worked with Russell now for over 10 years, and it's I've seen different parts of his companies, come up and it's come down, everything else. But it's one of the things that I've always seen with Russell is the fact that has never, spending money has never been an issue. And I think I learned it a long time ago, and that is it's very, very hard to sell other people if you're not willing to buy. And I think it's one of the things that's fascinating to me as far as got all these people who want to sell people stuff, but they will not open their wallet to buy a single thing. I'm like, it's just not congruent. It's just, I don't know. At least to me, it's not. I mean, you've got to be a buyer to also be a really good seller. And the better you are at buying stuff, the better you're going to be at selling stuff. That's my own personal feeling on it.
Totally. And if I could just go way off topic here, it just reminds me of something, which is, but half of it is like, what it really is customer support too. It's like it's like serving people. And like the more you, it's an amazing thing. And I don't believe in like magic and all this kind of stuff, but there's something about giving and helping other people that like changes the paradigm. Like it really does. And that comes with spending money. That comes with giving. It's like, if you can give somebody a product for less money, if you can help somebody on a Facebook post, if you can talk to people like this, if, you know, I hope I can present value. Like, you know, in the back of my head, I'm always thinking like, am I helping people right now? It's like, I don't know. It's like, but that does change the paradigm. Like, it's not that you get more in return, but like it opens you up. So the more you can help, like even doing podcasts like this, anything, it's like the more you can give, like the world changes when you give. It's amazing. So anyway, that's just total side note, but it does. It really does work that way. And if you don't understand that, start giving today and see how that works. You're going to be amazed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We can have a podcast just on that because I totally agree with you on that one for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I want to dive into one more thing here before we let you go. And that is the idea that you talked about as far as spending money to build a hobby page on Facebook. I was really by that. And because you learn by doing that kind of stuff. So if you don't mind, kind of dive in and let's spend just a few minutes kind of talking about the idea as far as using a Facebook hobby group page to learn cut your teeth basically as far as learning Facebook ads.
Yeah. First of all, I never shy away from a project, even if it doesn't make me money. I think that like, you never know where like something's going to turn. So it's like, this might be a little hobby project of mine, but like, who knows? And again, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I've got 50,000 people in a group and all of a sudden I can monetize it in some way. It's certainly not what I'm trying to do, but like, you just never know where the world's going to take you. You know, you never know what's going to be hot, what's going to work, what new Facebook thing they're going to invent. And so my feeling is like, don't be afraid to jump into things. You know, I have so many things going on all the time, but like, that's just one thing. I don't know. Do you want me to tell everybody what it's about, or is that like embarrassing?
No, actually, I think that's the fun part.
That is the fun part. All right, I'll just tell everybody. It's really awesome. But anyway, it's a total passion project. It's a total thing I just love in my life. If you don't get it, I totally understand. If you do get it, you'll love it. But you know, since I was a kid, I always loved like professional wrestling, and you know, Hulk Hogan, all the stuff. Like I don't really like Hulk Hogan anymore, but you know what I'm saying, like Randy Savage, all those guys. We all kind of grew up with it, you know, the '80s and whatnot. And so I don't know. I just always loved it. It's a great sort of like mindless entertainment for me, though it's become quite a complex, amazing business at this point. And if I could just say one thing about, you know, WWE and pro wrestling is if you want to learn social media marketing, they're the biggest in the world right now. I mean, they're just unbelievable, bigger than NBA, bigger than any other sport company. And so if you watch what they do, but anyway, I created a group. I don't want to shamelessly plug it unless there's any like wrestling fans out there, but
go ahead and shamelessly plug it. I'm fine with the shameless plug.
It's great. I could wear my t-shirt for it. It's called Smarking Out. If you're a wrestling fan, you understand what it means to be a smark. And so it's called Smarking Out. And join the Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. But my point is like, you know, I really did. I thought like, if I'm going to really work with ads, if I'm going to teach people how to work with ads, if I'm going to teach myself how to work with ads, you know, if I'm going to understand Facebook more, it's like so many people I see, I'm in my 40s, but so many people I see that are my age and young and older, you know, they see this new technology come out, Twitter, something like that, like, oh, I'm never touching that, or it's too advanced for me, I'm not going to do it, or Facebook is stupid. God, when I hear somebody say Facebook is stupid, I'm like, go, just try it. Like you have like Snapchat, all this stuff. It's like I just try all this stuff. It's not that I use it all the time. It's like I have to try. But then you start to see what is amazing about these things if they work. So like Facebook is amazing. Groups are amazing. Like they hands down are amazing. And the more I'm in groups and the more I manage this group, now we've got like 4 or 5 admins, but the more I manage this Smarking Out group, the more I realize like how amazing an online group can be. It is like managing a club in your local town. It's just online. That's the way the world's going. I mean, the kids today are not going to understand the difference between a virtual world and like a real world. So like when you have a conversation online, it's a virtual conversation. But like, I mean, even right now, what we're doing is sort of a virtual conversation. You're not in my room, but you can hear me and we can talk. My point is, you know, that's what Facebook groups are like. It really is this real life thing. So I started kind of advertising. It's a little tricky to advertise your Facebook group and promote it. I did start with a Facebook fan page. I don't feed to that, but the fan page feeds to the group. And then we kind of like, that kind of helps because it singles out. What's interesting is it's a group page, not for a business or a product. It's strictly just made up out of thin air. But look, we've already got 4,600 members, but here's what I want to say about it, which is, it's a lot of work. So like I could probably have it like 10,000, 12,000 members by now. I started earlier this year, but I'm telling you right now, like it is like a full-time job. Cause like I said, it's like, it is like managing a small club, and there's, you know, and then you're dealing with like professional wrestling fans. I mean, you have like, you know, fights and all this stuff you have to like manage. And we have like a very strict, no like trolling rule and a no, you can't attack people personally. And we deal with that all the time. But anyway, you know, I don't know if I answered your question. It's a lot of fun. I think there's like a few strategies to grow Facebook groups right now. As far as I know, you can't advertise directly to the group, but there are a lot of ways around it. I'm not sure how legitimate they are, but just saying you could go onto Facebook groups and find out, like, I mean, kind of do some workarounds with Facebook. One of the easiest ways is either just go to a website that promotes the group or just, you know, advertise to a fan page that promotes the group, and you just get people in that way. So anyway, any other questions about the group? The group's a lot of fun. It's amazing. I think groups are a huge part of Facebook right now. Absolutely huge. I recommend everybody start joining groups. It's amazing.
I love it. I think the key to, as I take a look at the kind of stuff that you're doing, is the fact that, as you mentioned earlier, that is, you have to do everything. And I know that people go, I just don't have time to do everything. I think that's part of what the fun of it is you get real good at one thing, but then don't be afraid to go and do the next thing as well. And I love the idea as far as understanding funnel stacking is a totally, I mean, it's what we live and die by over here at ClickFunnels. And that is the idea as far as you get one, as you made mention earlier, Evan, it's one funnel leads onto another funnel, leads onto another funnel. And even the Facebook group, it's why I wanted you to kind of make mention of it. That Facebook group, as you said, you don't know where that's going to take you.
Right.
But at the same time, as you're perfecting your skills as far as running the group, you're understanding how to drive Facebook, you're doing all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you have the ability to communicate with a group in a totally different way than you're normally communicating with people on another group or whatever else that might be. And I think there's just such a skill to that. I'm storytelling. Again, you and I could go on and on about storytelling because you're an amazing storyteller. But I think I think that's one of those things, though. Honestly, Evan, is I just hope people. I mean, honest for you and I could carry this podcast on for hours and they would be entertaining. But I want to be respectful of your time. At the same time, I really want to make sure that people understand. You guys who listen to this podcast, understand that you are truly one funnel away. And what I mean by that is look at Evan's story and then see how can your story fit into that. I love what you made mention earlier, Evan, and that is, you know, if you knew in 7 years you're going to have $1 million business, would you start now? And I hope people, as you guys listen to this, one that's been entertaining, because you can't talk to Evan and not have it be entertaining. But in addition to that, I really hope that you guys have got a lot of value out of this. And I want to make sure as we kind of get close to wrapping things up here, Evan, I know people want to get more of you. So where can they go to get more of Evan?
The best place is just evanmichael.com, EvanMichael.com. Just my full name, evanmichael.com. And so, you know, I do my own personal things, you know, my own personal webinars. We'll be starting up some, you know, Facebook ad strategy, just the way that I grew my business and want to teach that to people as well. So go to evanmichael.com. You can also reach me on Messenger from there and stuff like that. You know, people can talk to me. I'm always happy to help and answer questions. And I don't go into groups to promote stuff. And, you know, I'll do that on my own. You know, it's like I don't take advantage of it that way. And I just want to help people. And I'm really happy you found me and, you know, we connected because that's really what I want to do is I just want to help people. And if I could just follow up, can you give me 2 seconds? I'll follow up on that wrestling thing, which is another great idea. Just find what you said, which is you don't know where it's going to go. So think about this. I started this wrestling group. It's got 4,500 people in it right now. We'll grow to 50,000, let's say. But already in the group, ideas are coming up. Friends are being made. People are talking. And what do they want? You know, some guy says, hey, we should have a group convention somewhere. We should have a group meeting. We should have group, you know, online video game chatting. We should have group, you know, this and that. We should have groups. And so before you know it, it's like maybe in 5 years from now, I'm hosting like a convention for all these guys, bringing in old wrestlers and having them interviewed and all this kind of stuff. And I'm making, you know, I'm doing $100,000, $200,000 event, right? So it's a hobby, but it's like you just never know how things are going to go. So I just wanted to back up your point, which is like I could see myself in 5 years hosting this incredible convention for these guys, you know, Smarking Out convention. It's like, you know, again, I'm not making any money on it right now, but let's let it grow. You know, it's like who knows what's going to happen in the future. So anyway, just want to mention that. But yes, evanmichael.com is where you can find me.
Oh, Evan, it's been such an awesome experience talking with you. Again, guys, go check out evanmichael.com. Connect with them on Facebook. Your life will be blessed as mine has been for having them on the podcast. So, Evan, thanks so much.
Hey, Dave, thank you so much. You're the best. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to Funnel Hacker Radio Podcast. If you'd like to be notified anytime we release a new episode, just subscribe over at funnelhackerradio.com. In addition to that, we'd love to send you a free gift. You can find that free gift at funnelhackerradio.com/free trial. One last thing is we love giving away cars. So if you'd like access to a free dream car, all you have to do is go to funnelhackerradio.com/dream car and you'll get all the details. Thanks again for listening.